Waiting.
We good?
Yeah.
Hey, everyone.
Hey.
Hello. My phone still says we're waiting, so I'm not sure if we are actually live yet.
We are live.
There we are. We're live.
See, I didn't get a
All right.
notification either, but
Yeah, my notification just went out.
it says we're live.
Yep, we're live. Hey, y'all.
Hey, Kay.
Hey,
Hey,
Kay.
everyone. Oh, yeah, I just got notification for the live right now. Hey.
We're echoing?
We are?
Who's echoing? Yeah, Kay says we're echoing.
Oh, no, it sounded like a dog was howling in the back.
You heard a dog howling? I didn't hear that.
Wait, I'm going to mute and see if it's me by any chance.
Okay, does anybody hear echoing now?
I don't hear echo. Are we still echoing?
Well, we're testing to see who it's coming from.
Yeah.
Do I have it on over here? It's not on over there.
Like, I don't.
It's still echoing. Okay, now I'm going to mute.
Am I the culprit? I hope not. I wouldn't know how to fix it. Do you? No, I don't. I just have StreamYard open. I don't have any other tabs open.
No, I don't have it open. I just have StreamYards open as well. I'm on my phone.
Maybe it's just your computer. Is anyone else here echoing? Let's see if I hear it from like my phone. 1 second.
Okay, I know I had my Jujubee doesn't have echoing.
Oh, it's probably Kay's connection.
I know I need to get a new headset, so Jujubee doesn't have echoing.
Yeah, it's probably.
Oh, I was like, now I hear echoing, but that was Carly's phone. Okay.
I was listening on my phone and I didn't hear it.
Oh my goodness, I'm over here I'm like pulling it, EKC over here, like talking while I'm muted. I'm like talking to you guys and I'm muted the whole time.
Oh, you had us like worried over here.
I know. We're like, oh no, what do we do?
Like, I don't even know how to fix an echo other than the.
How does that work though? How is it when you go in and you hear someone echoing and it's like, is it? I don't know how that works. Like, how does?
I think it's when you enter StreamYard and then it'll still have like your YouTube open.
Yeah, I don't have my YouTube. Yeah, I don't play my YouTube because it's I just on my phone, so it's hard to go back and forth.
How is everyone?
You're fine, thank you, Case. At least you were telling us, like, what if we really were echoing pretty bad?
Yeah. Then we're all done and we're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, how is everyone on a Tuesday? And I'm not sure how many people we'll get because I know there's other lives going on.
Yeah, let's.
Today was heavy. I watched the entire Daryl Brooks sentencing. I was like in tears all day. It was a lot.
Well, how are y'all doing in chat? Good day for you guys?
And it's only Tuesday.
It is only Tuesday.
No. For you guys. It's my Friday, so I'm happy.
Well, yeah. Well, at least next week my kids will have off school.
So. Yeah, same.
Oh, do they have the whole week?
Yeah.
Lucky.
I'm excited.
I don't even know Oh, we're not true crime. I was gonna say I don't even know what that trial is about, and any kind of like the victim, like victims' families or any of the victims that are telling their testimony or their story. What do they call it? Like victims.
Victim impact statement.
Yeah.
Yes. Like so like hearing that, like I watched one on the shooter of the Valentine's Day. Was it Mart in Florida?
Yeah.
And I watched like one of the dads,
Hey,
and I was like,
Layla.
oh my goodness.
Hey, Layla.
I was like, and I was just like, out of nowhere, just started crying, like, because it just like that poor, because he was just talking about how he's like, you just telling him like, you took my son away from me.
Yeah.
He's like, I will never be like, but yeah. I try to stay away. Sometimes I try to stay away from those because it's too much. It's just way too
Yeah,
much.
it was hard. I almost didn't watch it, but then I don't know. I felt like I had to because I kind of look at it as the more people that hear them, the
That is true.
more of an impact, which is the whole point. But so should we get started or do we want to wait for?
Yeah. We can go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Yeah. So, why don't we just get started with kind of giving our vision, I guess, on that's always every time I use that word, I feel it's a little corny to me because I'm used to hearing vision casting. It's Vision Cast Sunday. If any of you grew up in church, you'll know what that means. But just kind of give our idea of what we. Hey, Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
Kind of what we want this to be.
Hey, CJ.
CJ.
Or what we see this in our minds to be. But I also think we all realize that it's kind of an organically thing. So what we see in our minds that it would be, you know, also it's kind of driven by how people respond to it and how it's driven by participation. If that makes sense. So, the three of us, I guess, on a personal level, recognize just and not that there isn't already spaces like this, but or aren't already, but just a space here for now I seem to be losing my words, guys, if you want to jump in at any point.
But a safe space.
It's like, well, I hate that word, but yeah, just a place to have conversations. Yeah. And to feel comfortable about, sharing your mental health journey at present, in the past, and to, develop community. You're right. That's a good word, Jujubee, to develop community around it, and to not, in the various communities that we kind of roam around in, so many things get weaponized, and there's tension and stress, and if for me, and I'll just say on a personal level, those things, even though they may not be directly related to, I'll share a little bit more in a bit, but I have depression, anxiety, and PTSD. And when things get kind of really, and I have had things directly involve me, but even if they don't, when they really get going, and I'm, maybe seeing that on the periphery, sometimes that makes me anxious. And so we talk about, we'll talk about setting boundaries at some point too, but they're just, I don't know. I know I'm not making sense. I'm rambling now, but just to have a place where you can kind of get away and just talk to other people who get it, I guess, if that makes sense. That's kind of my,
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, like talk to people that understand that because they're going through something either the same or similar. Because most of the time, if we don't, if say if you're the only one that has the anxiety and depression and PTSD in your family, then who do you really talk to in your family that will understand it? Because they try to help. They do. Family does try to help, but sometimes they don't understand on
Yeah.
that same level that you need someone to.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if I'm making sense. Sorry.
You absolutely, to me, you are.
Okay.
Well, and I'll just add too, therapy is so expensive, and
It is.
I wish there were more, let's say, resources for people that want to get treatment but don't have the means to do so. And I like that. I mean, I don't know how much will help. I hope we help out a lot, but I wish years ago I had some kind of community to reach out to. And I mean, I talk to like family and friends, but it feels different when it's people that understand what I'm dealing with, as opposed to just kind of smiling and nodding, or
Yeah.
it just sounds more like they're being empathetic to me, but they don't fully understand.
Yeah.
So I hope we can create something like that for people feeling the same way.
Yeah. That being said, none of
Yeah.
us are professionals. We're not trying to take the place of professionals. We can't diagnose anybody. We're not,
It took me a long time to even realize myself.
yeah.
Like,
So we're just trying to be, kind of there for each other. We know, like Carly said, and Casa said, we know what it's like. We've been there. If you've been there too, same. Not that, and that's one thing, is we all have we may have the same diagnosis, but we have completely different experiences, most of it. So
yeah, exactly.
so it's just a place where we can just talk and have, I don't want to say no expectation, but not an expectation of fixing anything for each other, but having, that sounding board, and that CJ says, like, safe people that you can talk to, and
Yeah.
that's
Hi,
so,
Cindy. Didn't say hi. Hi, Mousy. Sorry.
like cattail bonking me every 2 seconds right here. Anyhow. Yeah, so yeah, and I'm looking over
Oh wow,
some of the comments.
so it's all covered, Belinda. That is something that's one thing I feel should be more
Yeah.
help is like anything for mental health and
Hi,
for
Mousy.
therapy.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely needs to be more accessible, because
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to choose between suffering in silence or, struggling to pay for simple treatment like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we can have hours long talks on,
On
the
that.
underfunding of mental health in this country.
Yeah, we will be here. We will be here for hours.
Yeah.
And but that is good. I'm so glad that you're able to do that, Belinda, for you and your family.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And thank you for sharing that. I know it's something that people don't really like. And that's another thing too, is people look down upon therapy like, oh, I don't need it. I'm not, like, they look down upon it like you're weak because you have to go to therapy.
Yeah.
The thing is with mine is I don't know my triggers, and that's what therapy's supposed to be for, is to help me figure out what is triggering my anxiety. Why am I going through this? I'm trying to figure out myself, since I can't afford it, but that's the thing, is like there's some things that, therapy really help with. And growing up, I didn't think about, like, because you grow up in the 90s, people don't really talk about anxiety, and early 2000s.
Yeah.
Well, like Kay was saying earlier, they tell you like, oh, you're just a big worrier, you're just stressed out, like
Yeah.
it's all in your head. And
Yeah, that one gets, like, it's all in your head. That one really gets to me. It's like,
Yeah.
I know this. You
Well,
don't
it is
have to
all in
tell
your
me
head.
this.
It
Yeah,
is all
I
in your
know.
head. It's a
But I
chemical
don't
thing.
need them to tell
Yeah.
me that.
In your head,
It's
in your
like,
brain.
I know this, but I can't figure out why it's making me feel this way. I don't need you to tell me what I already know.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like, when like they say it's like it's all in your head, it's like, well, I know this. Thanks for the obvious.
Yeah.
because it sounds really dismissive when they say it's all in your head.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it is
You're just
too.
having a bad day.
Hi, Clarissa.
Clarissa.
Hey, Clarissa.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. I think it was Teresa
Oh, wow.
who just said, we didn't. I could scroll back, but I'm lazy.
I'm
Talking
so
about,
sorry, Clarissa. Yeah, having to retell it over and over.
yeah,
Seems like
finding the
so
right
bad.
therapist is
Yes.
hard. I was complaining to, I'm not sure if Carly heard me complaining about this. I know Cass did. I had the best therapist, and he up and died on me. And I am joking. I mean, I'm not joking that he died, but for those of you who don't know me, I have a dry sense of humor. But yeah, he did pass away, and I'm kind of dragging my feet on trying to find a new one because he was just awesome. Because it's hard to find somebody that, like, I've had some stinkers, and I'm sure they're great for a lot of people, but like I had one that I was dealing with, on top of all the other things, I was dealing with being sexually harassed at work. And so I went to a therapist to trying to figure out how to deal with it. And she's like, I kid you not, she's like, you need to be rebirthed. And I'm like, yeah, no.
What?
Mm-mm. Yeah, no, I'm like, nope, not a match.
What does that
So,
even mean?
Yeah.
I didn't want to find out. Didn't want to find out.
Did you just get up and walk out? Did you even say anything, or did you just get up and walk out?
I was just like, okay, well, thanks. We'll be in touch.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that is the thing too, is like, not finding the right one can be discouraging, and then it's like, that's another thing too, as far as trying to find the right one, and then the cost of it is like the two major issues, is because you're going through the cost of finding the right one and spending all this money just to find the right one and not finding it. It's like I don't even want to do this anymore. But I didn't even, like, it's just after that first bill I got for just an assessment that was supposed to be free, I was like, nope, I can't, like, no way I can do this every month. Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's the thing too. One session is expensive, let alone going on the regular. And then if you end up needing any kind of medication, or they want you to try other things, it's probably going to cost money.
Oh, that is so cool, CJ. That is really cool. One turned a friend.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's how it's supposed to be.
And it's funny that CJ said that, because CJ a while back said that everybody can benefit therapy, and that is the absolute truth, because therapy is just talking. They don't fix your problems. They guide you to fix your problems. They're just talking.
Yes, exactly.
A friend of mine and I refer to therapists as your paid best friend. You're just, it's, unfortunately you're paying them, but it's your paid best friend. You're just chatting away, and everybody can benefit from having one of those. So, yeah, I think that's great that you developed an actual friendship with them.
Yeah, because you
And-
don't want to feel like, once you leave the room, they're like, okay, next. Like,
Yeah.
you want to feel like they actually want to help you and
Yes.
make you
Yeah.
feel like you're not just some random person off the street paying them to share your problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like it's like you were saying, because like they kind of know like what questions to ask to help you guide yourself
Yes.
to
Yes.
figuring it out.
Yeah.
So that is, that's the thing is like the assessment I had originally, just because I was just at a breaking point where it's like I need to do something because I can't do this anymore. I like think my anxiety was just way too bad. I was like I cannot do this. I do not want to live like this. And so during the assessment, she was really nice and stuff, but that's what she suggested. She's like, I really feel you would benefit more from therapy, and I was gonna look into it, and then I got that bill. I was like, no, it may be for me, but not for my wallet. I'm sorry.
Exactly. And
I
then
was
you're
like,
put
I
in
already,
a position where like, I still need the help, but
yeah.
I'm kind of screwed
At
here.
that time, I was paying because it was before like the COVID relief that they started giving you for medical is I was already paying like 250 a month for my medical, and then on top of that, just the assessment they were charging me 230. I'm thinking like I cannot do 230 a month. I'm already, especially with you know rent rent was going up and just too much stuff. I was like I can't afford this, so I just try to figure out how to distract myself. But you have something highlighted. Sorry, so go ahead and read it.
I remember, I can't think of the site now, but there was a website I saw a commercial for, and it was saying affordable online therapy, and I was like, okay, I'll check that out. And it was
There's-
saying it was like $69 a session. I was like, wow, that's actually not bad. But then you click on it, and it wants you to pay for like so many sessions up front. So you
Mhm.
still end up paying hundreds of dollars, and they're like booking you. And then, so the money aside, I'm kind of like, what if I don't like it? Or what if I don't like the therapist? Am I able to cancel? Am I able to switch? Like, I didn't like the way they went about it. It didn't sound like, I don't want to say legit, but it just didn't sound, it sounded more like a money grab as opposed to actually wanting to help people.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
there's several operations, so to speak, that do all online. Like I know I see my psychiatrist all online. They just moved their practice to be all online. They're actually local here to the city that I live in, but they see people from all over the place. And then I'm looking for a local therapist, but I want to do all my stuff remotely if I can. But it's been pretty cool seeing the therapist that way because I don't have to leave work. I don't have to,
You can stay in your PJs.
yeah,
yeah. That's what I love about working from home now. It's like I don't have to really pretty much just get up, eat something, drink my coffee, and go right to work.
yeah. That for me is something that I'm having to um, make a point to get dressed, put a bra on, brush my teeth.
No, no.
Because
You said a forbidden word.
no,
Bra.
I know,
It's forbidden.
but if I don't, I feed into my depressive tendencies.
Yeah, I've noticed that with myself too, and um that's what my husband was saying. Like he's like, why don't you like just go for like a walk or something? He's like, because that's the whole reason why he didn't really want me to do or not him wanting me. Like that's the reason why we didn't want. 'Cause I didn't want to either do work from home because it was always an option with my job. It's just I never wanted to because then I would never get out.
Yeah.
And that is, and he's like, you will never get out, and then that's like, because I actually really did enjoy going to work and go and seeing people. I had like a little group. We would in between calls we'll talk and color and stuff, pass like trade off picture. Like we just had some like little fun. It was nice, and then COVID happened and
Ruined
shut the it was only supposed to be for 2 weeks. Oh, that 2 weeks it turned into 2 years. So well, now it's permanent. They decided to go permanent with everyone being remote.
Well, I don't know
I
if any
just-
of you are the same, but also when it comes to finding out how much you're going to have to pay for sessions, I have a bad habit of never putting myself first.
Yep.
My mind goes to, well, that money could be better spent towards my kids, my family, my house, my whatever. And
Yeah,
I'm like, I'll
exactly.
figure it another way. I find any excuse not to figure it out and do it.
I meant to ask, sorry, because Layla did ask me a question up there. It was, so the healthcare I have, the insurance I have, I'll just say it's Kaiser. And the way Kaiser works is they will not do, unless you are going to eat, like you're really, really bad mentally as far as you're going to either harm yourself or other people. They keep their therapist for them, so they have you go out of network. They help you pay for it, but they don't tell you how much they help pay for it. So that's it. That's one thing is they just are focused on, their therapists are focused on the people that need more help, and they did not deem me as one of those people, so they're going to have me go out of network.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's what they told me in the session. She's like, she was just telling me that I don't feel you're a danger to yourself or to anyone else. You just have anxiety and depression. You just need, so you will have to do out of network, which Kaiser does help you pay for it, but again, they don't explain how much they would help you with it. And being on Cover California, yes, I'm in California. Being on Cover California, it's a bit difficult as because I'm on like the bottom tier of it. So it's just ridiculous. I'm just pretty much paying just that not get, because California loves to penalize you for not having health care. So that's the only
Yeah.
reason why I'm on it, pretty much. Because I can't even afford to go to the doctors. But yeah, anyway, sorry. Go,
That too.
guys can step in anytime. I feel like I'm talking too much. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Let me get it out there.
Hey, just saying. Good to see you.
Just saying.
Hey, just saying. One of the things I forgot to say earlier, and I want to say it before it completely slips my mind, is one of the other things that we kind of touched on it, I think, a little bit too in another part of the conversation, but one of the other things we wanted to kind of include in our goals here is to keep this a place, or help make it a place where the stigma is taken away from mental health and mental health issues. And part of that for me includes, I see I can't talk, it's only Tuesday, creators and subs kind of, and I'm sure we've all seen it, weaponizing mental health, like
Exactly.
Yes.
calling, using it. I mean, we've all called people crazy, and I get that, but there, you know, people who actually have mental health issues, like weaponizing that, or that's just, I'm sorry, but that's gross. It's just gross to me. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Nobody chooses this. They don't. It's, you know, I don't know how significantly, severely, whichever word you want to use, any of you have struggled with whatever it is that you, mental health issues that you do have. I've dealt with pretty severe depression and anxiety, and trust me, nobody chooses this. So those people who, you know, try to weaponize it, it's just, it's nasty. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
It's
Yes, it is.
nasty. So we
And
just
it's
want
sad
to,
that it's grown adults doing it too, not
yes,
people in high school.
yes. And so again, you know, taking the stigma away, but also taking the power back, is one thing, you know, with nobody can, for me, when I own my things, nobody else can have that power. You know,
Right.
I'm open and honest with, or not open and honest, that's not the way to say it. I don't hide the fact that I have these things. So if you try to make it a weapon against me, it won't work. It's going to be a, you know, featherless dart flying around trying to find a place to go. Because
Right.
anyway, so just want to get that out there.
And it's only said to hurt you too. That's
Right.
If you let it hurt you, then they win.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
So, and as far as taking care of yourselves and putting yourself first, I know this is kind of corny. You've probably all heard it before, but it's, you know, if you think about riding on a plane and they tell you to put the oxygen mask on you, it's the O words I can't say. Put that on yourself first and then put it on your kids, because if you're out of oxygen and you pass out, you can't help anybody else. So that's why sometimes you do have to, you know, put yourself first to take care of yourself, and then you can take care of everybody else more efficiently.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's my big struggle, is because like I hear it all the time. People tell me to take care of me, but it never instills in me. It's like embedded in me to
Yeah.
put myself not even second. I put myself last.
Exactly, Juju.
Oh yeah, I've heard that too. That's one of my favorite quotes, but I still don't listen.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. And I'm one of those people that it's like, I hate asking for help. I hate it. So
Me
I'll
too.
let the cup get empty and then I won't ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get mad when nobody sees that I need. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done the same.
Yeah.
Or I get to the point where I get so overwhelmed that I'm like, I need help. And then same thing. If it's offered to me, I'm like, well,
Yeah.
do I really need it? No, I don't.
Yeah.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah. So Carly and Cass, so I've kind of said a lot of what we want this to look like. How do you want to tell how we want this to play out? Like, not just us sitting here talking?
Yeah. Did we want to do the rotation of like telling our story / journey with mental health? Or do we want to do it where it's like rotate in one stream?
I think we should like do one per stream, but then we want to make it a place where if, you know, you guys want to feel comfortable coming on panel talking about things, where you're not just in chat, you know, and then we don't want to force anybody for sure. But we want this to be as interactive as you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Because I could do either one.
Yeah.
It'd be fine either way.
Yeah. I tonight, I don't want to overwhelm people. Like, we don't want to dump a lot on you. Because, you know, I wasn't sure how it was going to go tonight. So I very pleasantly surprised.
Me too.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I'm glad people are feeling comfortable enough to talk with us about it.
yeah, for sure.
Because, I mean, it's fine even if, people just want to listen and don't want to say anything. But
Yeah.
either way, just taking that step, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And I'm just going to put it out there, full disclosure, whenever we do tell our stories, I will cry. So if anyone wants to cry with me, I would love it.
Yeah, and I was funny you just said that, because I was also thinking, like, and if you just want to come up and even on panel and cry, like,
Yeah.
we're here to cry with you. We're here, whatever it is that, we can't, again, we're not professionals and we can't guarantee that we can fix everything, but we're here to lift. Like, my thing I always say about all of this is I'm not, despite what you may have heard,
Oh, no.
this channel is not for drama, but despite what you may have heard, I'm not here to tear people down. I'm here to lift people up. That's always been my shtick. And so if you just want to bitch and cry and moan, we will let you do that.
Yeah.
If you want to cry, we will let you do that. So we just want this to be just a safe space. So,
Yeah.
but again,
Yep.
yeah, that's it. That's the thing.
It's never
Oh,
cured me,
I'm sorry, just saying.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
This game is impossible.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Yeah.
That's the hardest.
Yeah.
That's the hardest.
And the holidays can be rough for people too. So I'm kind of glad we kicked this off when we did. So
Yeah. And no crying session has ever cured me, but it has helped. It helps me breathe. It helps me. It just feels like, at least for the day or the moment, a weight is lifted off.
Yeah.
Especially when I throw it all out there and I'm not being judged for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all you need is a cry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A good cry, even if it's in the shower.
That's my favorite crying spot. Like, you can't even tell.
Yeah, exactly. And then you don't have especially if you have kids.
Yes.
Like, you don't have kids like wondering, like asking you, yeah, what's wrong? Why are you crying? All that.
Yeah, I'm so guilty of that. I've either said nothing, I'm fine, or else I lie and say it's something, I don't know. But I, of course, never go into all that serious stuff. But yeah, that's why I prefer the shower.
Yeah. I'll wait till they go to bed.
Yeah. It's weird. Some days I'll feel like it's just doomsday, and then the next day I'm like, oh, I don't feel so bad today. It's really weird. Some days are worse than others. Even if nothing really happened, it's just there's days I'm all up in my head. My head won't shut off. And then other days I'm feeling okay.
That's anxiety for you.
Isn't it fun? Nope.
Isn't it fun?
She's kind of a bitch. Not gonna
lie.
Yeah. We've been together. Never realized it, but we've been together since my teen years.
Wow.
Since what?
Since I was a young teenager. So anxiety and I got a long.
Oh, you got a long-term relationship.
Yeah, long-term relationship.
I don't totally remember having anxiety as a teenager. I might have and just not realized it. Or
that's what I'm coming to figure out. It's like, oh wow, that explains this, that explains that. So that was this, it was that. Like, I'm starting to piece it together because I didn't realize, which I should have known because it runs in my family. Like, my older brother had it, my grandma has it, my dad has it, my younger brother has it. So I do talk to them a lot, like mainly my younger brother, because he's like because he seems like he has gotten more control of his, and his solution for him is he just keeps himself, like he just keeps busy, like he keeps active, like he feels as long as he keeps himself active and doesn't like just sit inside all day and do nothing,
Yeah.
he feels like he doesn't feel like he did not, like he just doesn't feel like he did nothing all day, like he feels like he accomplished something. That's what I was trying to think. I was like, what am I thinking? But yeah, thank you for coming, Kay. Good night.
Bye. Yeah, back then they probably would just be like, "Oh, it's teenage hormones." Just
That's the thing, is actually the pediatrician we had, she was really good pediatrician. Like she knew what my brother was going through and put him on the right path on what to do to get how to help. It's just he didn't take the help. He decided to he decided smoking cannabis was his way of like releasing it. Or yeah. Me on the other hand, I can't even do edibles. Otherwise those edibles give me
I've never tried them, but I'm open to it.
the edibles made
I just worry about, or because I've never tried weed or CBD in any form ever. So part of me is worried I'll have a reaction, or yeah, I won't know how to handle it if I get that high feeling. So I haven't gone down that road yet.
Yeah, it didn't quite work for me. it made me more anxious. So I was like, okay, I'm staying away from those.
Yeah. I've heard people that swear by it, and then others that, like you, that it didn't do anything, or they didn't like how it made them feel.
Yeah, that's what my younger brother said too. Like it helps my older brother, but both my younger brother and I have our reaction is it increases ours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that too. That too, Mousy. Yeah, that's what I did. I did try like a tiny, tiny edible, like nothing crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or same with like what was it? The gummies? Or some people say like have like a low dose one or even half of one before you dump right in. And so I'm like,
Wow, Mousy. Yeah, kids don't have anxiety. Teenagers do, though.
Yeah.
I won't ask how old you were because I'm not trying to get your age on you. Like 1990.
Yeah. I think even ever since social media has been a thing, anxiety's gone quite up with teenagers because of all the online bullying and pressure to, be TikTok famous, or just that's where a lot of even the fighting happens. It's weird.
Yeah.
And
we can have a whole stream on online
yeah.
bullying, online all that stuff, social media in general. Like, whew, we'll be here for days. So
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I've even felt, social media pressure too, because like if I'm on Instagram and I see all these, call them mom bloggers, and their photos they're so pristine, even when they try to act like their house is messy, it looks like a staged messy.
Yeah.
And when they're like acting like they're, no makeup, but then they put a filter on with makeup, or they don't have that rolled out of bed look. It looks totally staged. And then I go the rest of my day looking around like feeling inadequate. Like, why can't I keep my house that clean? They can do it. What are they doing? What am I doing wrong? Why can't
you know what they're doing? They're cleaning it right before they do those videos and then acting like then they're making it a mess. I I learned I learned not to compare myself to people on IG because I realize sometimes it's a lot of just like they say what is all for the gram.
Yep.
That's like something that like that's the same like do it for the gram. Like you're just doing it to show your life is a certain way, but a lot of those people, I don't want to say I shouldn't speak for them, but some of them are miserable with their lives. They just do
Yeah.
what they do to get that check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm just like, why aren't we normalizing reality instead of, the staged photos and 50 filters and, it's like, what
Well, look
mom can
out,
relate to that?
look, yeah, but look at how reality TV is. If you look at like the Kardashians,
Oh,
how
they're not anywhere near relatable or real.
that's what I'm saying. Like even when they first started, like as far as like that's just what some people strive to be is like that. Not like it just makes it like their life is just so easy. Like they just get up, do whatever they want. I know they work and do some things. I know that not like what Ken said. Us women need to just get up and work. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go there. That's we can't go there. I'm sorry. Scratch that. Don't ignore what I just said. Scratch it.
Yeah. Anything she says, I don't listen because the
Yeah,
woman
we'll
went
be.
to Paris for beignets when she was pregnant because she craved French beignets. I'm like, what normal mother does that on a regular basis?
Yeah.
So it's like, please stop trying to act like you're the same as regular women because you're not. And it's like, we get it. You're filthy, rich, and famous, but please don't act like you're that you're not.
Yeah, that is true, Juju. Because I've noticed that when I actually do my dishes at night and not leave them for the morning, like I tend to do, I feel better. Like
Yeah.
I feel better like once I clean like if I get everything done at night. So I go to bed and it's like okay, everything's done. I don't wake up feeling like oh my goodness I have all this I gotta do, and I just don't want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done that too, where I actually kind of deal with it every night where I'm like, okay, do I put the kids to bed, get up and clean? That way when I wake up, it's all clean. But then 9 times out of 10, I'm like, I'm just too tired. I'll see them fall
Yeah,
asleep. Like, that looks amazing.
yeah, that's it. I go okay, so I'm going to put my son to bed. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, and I've been really trying hard to get back into my workout routine because that actually really helped me
Mhm.
honestly is doing and like and I was lifting weights like nothing like heavy but that just made me feel good as far as I just enjoyed doing it, but I kind of got into the depression and not motivated enough, and
Mhm.
it's been really hard to try to get back to doing it, and that's another thing that I know is bugging me, and it's because I really want to, and it's just I just procrastinate all day, and then I go and I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. That's what I always do.
And tomorrow's just doesn't seem to come.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow. And
Yeah.
then it's gonna be tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
Turns into next week.
but yeah, so the how I'm hoping this turned out, which like Grace was saying, this is just was something we're kind of wanting to ease on you guys. Like we didn't want to just jump in right away. We're kind of just seeing how
Yeah.
things go. But again, like it's a nice, comfortable spot to just hang out and talk. And that's the whole reason why, we're doing this channel. It's like no drama. Like there's like so many different people in this chat that I'm a that I'm gonna say it. They normally wouldn't get along, but they tolerate each other, and we get. I feel that's just amazing that we could do that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, we didn't want to overwhelm anyone, but still wanted to kind of put it out there how we want to go about it. And see if, because like we said, we want you guys to feel like you can be a part of it too. We're all in this together.
I know, Belinda. That's exactly what happens. Like you go, I'll do it tomorrow, and it's like, oh my god, I've let it go. Now I gotta really get into it. I gotta really start.
Mm-hmm. And it just piles on and piles on. We wonder why or how it got to that point.
Yeah,
Procrastinating
have
is probably my
to-
biggest bad habit.
you have 2 kids. As one of 3, as a kid, I knew how messy we were as kids. I have one kid, and he is a tornado,
Mm-hmm.
and does good on picking up after himself and stuff. But most of the time, I just go. So I'll just throw it all in the corner. He's just gonna get it all out anyway. Like, what's the point in picking it up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We weren't allowed to be messy growing up.
That is a good idea, Juju. Like, it seems like that is something you like to do. I say do it. Because you're helping
I need
Mousy
that.
and her. Yeah, right. You're helping Mousy with her her decor. Yeah, I think you'll do good on that. It seems like something you like, and that is what I've learned is do something you love. Like, don't try to make your channel something it's not. Shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. What are you? Oh my goodness. Forgot what I was gonna say. You guys can keep going.
I have a question for the group, because we haven't talked about this, and I was thinking about this earlier today. When the streams are done, do you feel more comfortable if we make these private?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Like, do you prefer if we make it private so where people can't just see what you guys are saying
Yeah.
in the chat?
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I thought about that earlier. Because that really should be y'all's call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, we want to
Because
respect
we
you.
all us 3 up here already agreed. Already know. Putting our story out there, knowing exactly
Yeah,
everyone's gonna hear it.
Yeah.
we're going to be
And I,
kind of open books about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I have no skeletons in my closet. I'll let them all come play.
They can come hang out.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that I'm like, I'll tell anyone who will listen about my crazy. We don't want to use crazy, but my stuff. So, but yeah, we don't want to assume you guys are that comfortable too. Okay, Teresa.
Okay.
CJ. Same. Oh, that's a good point, Layla. That's yeah, why we brought that up
And
earlier because some people
yeah,
are jerks about it, and will.
Yeah.
and that's the thing that I hope we get a point to where, I mean, obviously we can't control what other people do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But if we get to the point where, and I can't, I want to say this to where it's not not trying to, absolutely not trying to shame anybody who's not in this place yet, but I hope that we can how do I say it, to get to a point where what other people say is not relevant, that's not the right word, where you get strength from yourself and from the people that matter to you, to the point where what other people say, especially people who are trolls and idiots,
Mm-hmm.
bounces off and doesn't matter. And if you're not, and I get that not everybody is, and that takes a while to get to. I totally get that. But that's kind of one of the things that when you start talking about things more about this and kind of let it out into public a little bit more, I think that we hopefully get further down that road. That's one of the kind of hopes I had with this whole thing too. But yeah, just what the majority wants. If you feel more comfortable making it private, we will absolutely do that. So yeah, excuse me, you can't talk tonight. Feel free to DM us, or if you see us in another chat or whatever and you want to let us know your thoughts on that, absolutely let us know. And no problemo.
Well, would you like to start with your story? And
Should
let you-
we take a poll on that? What did I just do?
we can let you have
Yeah.
the tour.
Do you guys want to how about, because we're right about in an hour, so do you want to cut it for tonight, and the next one we'll start with one of our stories, or do you want to hear one of our stories tonight, and then after that we'll be done? So how about, let's see, put a 1 in the chat if you want to finish now.
Or 2 in the chat if you want to hear Grace's story.
Waiting for someone to put 69.
I know. And if you put 69, you have to put a phone number.
Oh no.
That's how it works. I'm seeing a lot of seeing twos.
Well, looks like 2 so far.
Looks like we're staying.
Yay. Alrighty.
All right. Okay.
All
So
right, so it's
I'm
all
told I have
yours.
to, let me take a drink. Not that kind of drink. It's decaffeinated.
I was about to say coffee at 8 o'clock. Oh my goodness.
Would you believe all my coffee yesterday and today has been decaf?
Wow.
I know. It's tragic.
Don't do that.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. So they tell me
Right.
that I need to be, brevity is the key here. So I will do my best. So where to start? I was first diagnosed when I was about early 20s. And I was diagnosed originally with depression. Um, Basically, how did it start? Um, well, actually, I will. Uh, I, I was. My family background is very convoluted, I guess, if that's the right word to use. It was a big mixed family with steps on one side and steps on the other side, and blended and weird, and um, it just, it, you know, I'm, I'm. It was just, it was weird. Um, so I went to therapy. I can't remember exactly why I had gone to therapy. I wish I could remember the reason that I decided to go to therapy, but I went to therapy. I've always had a very odd relationship with my mother, which will uh, now realize that I've been the victim of narcissistic abuse. Um, but I can't remember what made me go to therapy, but something made me go to therapy. And this was back when I lived in another state. And that was a wonderful therapist. Um, but somehow I found myself crying on the therapist's couch. And she gave me a sheet to fill out. And she says, well, um, yeah, based on, all your answers, you're depressed, and I would highly recommend you go to the doctor and talk to him about getting on a medication. And I just kind of looked at her like she was crazy. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not depressed. I just need to talk to you about stuff. But I went to the doctor, and I was in tears when she said that to me. So maybe I was depressed, but I didn't really want to own up to that. Um, so I went to the doctor, and my doctor was super cool. I'd been going to him for a long time, and so I handed him the paper that she said, just hand him this. If you don't want to say anything, just hand him the paper. So I handed him the paper, and he looks it over, and he's like, okay, yeah, I think we really should consider starting you on an antidepressant. Um, and he said the word Prozac, and I burst into tears again. He's like, okay, maybe not one called Prozac. Um, so that was my first foray into being diagnosed with depression. However, and like I said, that was like early mid 20s. Looking back over like my teenage years, I know that I had issues well before that. And even into my childhood years, like Mousy had said, I know I've had anxiety for a whole lot longer. But in my family, you just don't have those things. Like, even now, I'm not allowed to have those things. Um, so at that time, I was working a job that I worked for about 15 years before I left that job due to my depression. Um, and my depression just continued to get worse and worse and worse over the years, to the point where I wasn't getting out of bed. Um, and I would go to the doctor. And see, this is where I don't know how to edit myself to be short, you guys. So just kick me if you want me to go faster. But I went back to the doctor, and I would say, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. And so he wouldn't adjust my medications because I was fine. And I would go back and go to work a couple of days a week, but not go to work most of the days of the week. So this gets us up to whatever year Hurricane Katrina was. And so I had worked at this job, and it was a great job, out in California, dox myself. I had worked at this job. I was the lead person at this place for just over 15 years. And they gave me the choice to quit and keep my retirement or be fired because of my depression, because I just wasn't going to work enough. So that sucked. But that's real life, and that's depression. That's not getting out of bed. And right around that same time, I'll just throw this out there because this was fun. This is how, with my family, how we don't. I also had chronic pain issues at the time. I have to guess I tell you this to make this make sense. I had chronic pain issues, and I was taking prescribed OxyContin, among some other things. And so my mom called a few friends of mine and decided to stage an intervention because she thought my problem was that I was hooked on OxyContin. And anyway, I get to this intervention, and that's when I find all this out. And I'm like, here, take my pills. I don't have a problem with these pills. Stop the next day. After the doctor told me how to get off them without having a problem. It was the depression. But see, we can't have depression in my family. We can't have these things. We don't talk about these things. Anyway, so shortly thereafter, got a job in Florida. And so we'll compress this. So worked in Florida for a little bit and decided things kind of started to turn around. Decided when I was checked out of that job, that was never going to be a permanent job, but I worked there for about a year. Went home, packed up my house, and moved to Texas, which is where I live now. I don't make a secret about that. When I got to Texas, I was doing pretty good. I wasn't, at some point, I think I was still taking medication when I got to Texas, but at some point I was able to come off the medication. Things were going pretty well. Now, kind of wrapped up in this, I've had weight problems most of my life. My father says that around age 6, something switched. Like there was some switch in me. That's when the weight started coming on. He says my personality changed. There's some incidences that happened that I don't know if that's what made all that happen. I don't know. We'll talk about those later, maybe. But that's when I started becoming a little bit more anxious. Anyway, so get to Texas, and I had started to put my mind to losing weight, and I lost a lot of weight. And within all that, I started to feel a lot better as far as depression goes. And amazingly enough, my chronic pain got a whole lot better. So I was off medication. I had lost, we'll just say like an average female weight, lost that, and was doing really well. But one thing in my, having been heavy my whole life, I really thought that was why my life was not how I had pictured my life to be. And once I lost all that weight, my whole life was going to change. And I'm really compressing this in time. So long story short, didn't change anything except for the size of my clothes. And that's when the bottom fell out. And now again, I have strange relationships with a lot of my family, which will make sense in a minute, but not make sense. But so it was Friday night, and I went home, got into a little bit of a tip with my best friend. She was irritated. But I went home from work and have a pretty stressful job. And I sat down with a bottle of tequila and a bottle of Xanax. And I was like, peace out, bitches. Um, and it was, I don't know if you've ever heard of Austin City Limit ACL. It's like pretty big, kind of pretty famous for that here in Austin. Also, I've talked to myself on that many times. Try and find me, bitches. Sorry, not you guys. This will tell you how long ago this was. I went on Facebook and posted something like, this is what I'm told, but they erased it for me. My friend took my phone when she got into my house. Something along the lines of, why does my father hate me? So my friend, two of my friends saw, my sister-in-law saw it. She lives in Delaware. And then a friend of mine who was at ACL saw it. She couldn't get out of the ACL. They called my friend who was mad, or got a hold of her. She had my house key. So they came in and I was like down, I don't know how much of the bottle and how many pills. So that didn't work, thankfully. And that's how I got to the therapist who I loved, who has since passed away. I'm trying to remember what year that was. Anyway, so that's the depression. Was what at its worst. When I got into therapy with him, he's I by hands down, he's the best therapist I've ever had, and I've really learned so much from him. Obviously, I'm on medications, and the medications have helped tremendously. I've had a period again when I've been off medications too since then. I have always had some underlying anxiety. Had how many years ago? This was 2012. No, 2015. Had a home invasion. And that's where my anxiety decided to go through the roof, you might imagine. And had more intensive therapy with, his name was James. But amazingly, after that happened, I got a better hold of my anxiety because through my therapy and through my faith, I was able to kind of see what was triggering Cass talked about not being able to understand what triggers her anxiety. That incident helped me see what my triggers really were. So in a strange way, it was hard to say it's helpful, but it helped me see those things. Not that they went away, but when you see them, you can see them coming and kind of squash them down and redirect your thoughts a little bit more. So after that, things improved, got off medications again. And then in this last couple of years with COVID and what have you, our work situation has been horrible. I got reassigned to a supervisor who was horrible, the worst I've ever had, and things tanked again. So I went to my doctor just to talk about it and had a full-blown panic attack in his office. And he's like, yeah, we're going to get you to a psychiatrist. I can't deal with this. So back to the psychiatrist we go. And so, yeah, now have my very own psychiatrist and back on medications and therapy. And that's kind of the really condensed version of my story. And my takeaway is nothing is as bad as you think it is in the moment. If you're ever contemplating the peace out bitches, nothing is ever as bad as you think it is. And yeah, um, yeah. So there you go. Any questions?
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Sure, it
I
wasn't
tried to
easy.
make it short.
You didn't have
Oh,
to.
yeah, you didn't have to at all. You did great, and thank you again for, like what Carla said, thank you for sharing. I know that had to been tough. I know you did tell me, you did tell us about the peace out bitches part, but you never really told the story. So hearing the story,
Yeah.
it kind of hit like, it did kind of hit hard as far as it just, so sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah.
I'm not though. It I mean, obviously, I'm glad it didn't work, but it
Yeah.
made me who it I I don't know how to, it probably doesn't make sense, but if I didn't, I wouldn't be where I am now. Um I've learned a lot. Um if everything happens for I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm glorifying it because I'm absolutely not. But I am where I am because of that. So
Yeah, I don't know if like a blessing in disguise would be like the right way to say it, but something along the lines of, like you said, it helped you.
yeah,
So as though it was the darkest part, the darkest moment in your life, it turned out to help you become who you are today.
yeah,
So I get what you're saying. And
yeah. And the one thing that I will say too is, I'm older than my cohorts here on panel. And it's, even though I've been dealing with this for a while, Layla, I'll get to that in 1 second. Even though well, it kind of works into Layla's question a little bit. It's it takes a while it it's truly like an onion where you're peeling back layers all the time to figure out, um like getting getting to the bottom of it, but I don't know that you'll ever get to the bottom of it. I mean, maybe you will, but I'm like just recently, over the past year, I've uncovered more stuff that I didn't, um, I didn't, I guess I buried, or it's not like repressed memories stuff, because it's not like I had forgotten them. I knew they were there, but those kind of all came out after, a long time of just really not dealing with them. So it's kind of like you're always kind of doing this hidden treasure, so to speak, thing, digging and finding these things. And I think, well, I shouldn't speak for everybody, but my family is a master at just pushing it all down. And when I kind of chuckled to myself when Cass said, in the 90s and 2000s, we didn't talk about this. I'm like, bitch, you want to talk about Gen X? We really didn't talk about this stuff. I mean, we pushed it down, and it's now like you got to dig that
yeah,
all back up, face it. So,
it,
um,
I do know because I don't have, okay, sorry, I'm gonna say this because not aging you, but my my mom has done the same as far as because it was looked down upon.
Yeah.
So she always kept her emotions bottled up, and then my papa, he's a great grandfather, but he was not that great of a father. And I'm gonna, as far as like he wasn't really there because he was the one working, and then he was very strict and verbally abusive, and I can see that how that affected my mom.
Yeah.
But she never talked
Same.
about it. She didn't start
Same.
talking about it until recently.
Yeah. My
She just
mom,
started opening up about it. So
my mom, her father was an alcoholic. So I can
oh, that,
see that. Yeah.
that was my dad.
Yeah.
He was an alcoholic.
Layla, I don't know if I can answer that completely. So there's two, I can answer it a couple of ways. One is right around that time, and the incidents are, how do I describe them? They're, what would you call them, Cass? They're,
You're talking about what happened when you were a child.
yes, there were sexually inappropriate things that happened, but they were from other kids. So it wasn't, they're a little bit older than me, and we won't go into great detail, but those, like, it first was happening right around that time. So I don't know if I don't know if weight
Have
came on I don't know. Um, but the other thing I can tell you is it was always a focus that I felt like, I don't know how to put it. So when I said that I felt like my whole life would change if that just, once the weight came off, part of the reason I felt that way is because it always seemed to be that was the focus, like, especially from my mother. So I know that it's wrapped up in a lot of the junk in my head, but it's like, trying to think of like a ball of roots on a plant that's so wrapped up in the dirt that I don't know how to unwrap it all yet.
and you have you don't have to answer this. You've talked to your therapist about it. What happened?
Just
At all?
starting to,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I can I see with that, with it being other kids. It's like who do you who do you really put the blame on? As far as like some, I don't know if I'm making any sense, and I don't want to
Yeah.
like offend you in any way because I don't know how much older they were than you,
And I
it
don't,
seems like you're not really comfortable with talking about it quite yet. So that's why
yeah.
we can definitely change the subject
Yeah.
or go on to something else. But what I was
Yeah.
gonna say is part from mine is I understand in a different way as far as similar stuff happened, but it was with an adult for me. And I have never confronted my family members that have refused to believe me. And I've been at a point to where part of me just wants to go off on them because it's like I was a child. I needed my family to support me, but they were too busy supporting a pedophile. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that on there. Whoops. Sorry.
We're not
Scratch
monetized.
that. Yeah. I don't know if I don't want to say anything not gonna, but yeah, that's what like my mom. No, she didn't. She backed my mom backed me all the way, but her family, because it was her family, someone from her side of the family, a lot of her family didn't believe me, and going through that as a what 7, 8 year old child was very traumatizing, and I never really realized that. I put it all inside and acted like everything was okay. So I kind of understand, like, it's something that I myself am still just starting to talk about freely. I've never talked about it because I don't want to be seen as the person that has a past of trauma. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to pity me, and I feel if telling my story, it will. So I'm not trying to make it about me. I'm saying I was trying to. I'm so sorry. I was trying to say I understand where you're coming from. It's taken a lot
Yeah.
for me to finally talk about it, and it actually just started when because of talking to people like you and Carly and everyone in chats.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I know I do hold a lot of anger, and I never really addressed that. And I'll get into that when it's my turn. I'll get more into it. As far as I think that is honestly what has triggered a lot. So, but yeah, I'm just saying I understand with not wanting to really go into that, especially it seemed like you were a young child too,
Yeah.
like I was, and
Yeah.
it's something you really don't want to be known as. Like I know it's not our fault. We didn't do it to ourselves, but it's still something you feel ashamed of. And even though we shouldn't, but I'm just being honest. It's something we feel. I don't know if I can't. I shouldn't talk for you. Sorry.
Yeah.
But sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Went a little deep there. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't sure I was going to talk about that, but
Yeah. No. But I'm just saying. I understand. Sorry. I was trying to help you to like feel better as far as I understand what you're talking about. As far as I figured maybe if I put my because I'm more comfortable with it now. I don't mind putting it out there so you don't have to for until you're ready.
yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, I got a little carried away. But that's like kind of what has been happening lately because I've been more open about talking about it. But yeah, but yeah,
And
how
Grace, back when everything was, I don't want to say new, I'll just say when everything was at a certain height, who would you say was your biggest support system, or did you even have one?
At which point?
Like when you were needing medication and everything was, you were having panic attacks.
Well, okay. So, when this latest round of panic attacks, Cass has been a great support. That was kicked off by a couple of things. So, yeah, had a little hate train thing, and that has brought on a couple of panic attacks, and then had some issues with somebody who just out of the blue pulled out a knife and lodged it in my back, and that caused some panic attacks. And I talked to you guys about that. Talked with you guys about that. Um, and then um, when after the home invasion, that's when the panic attack started. Um,
And how long ago was that again?
that was like 2015.
And was that, I can't remember, and I'm sorry. Is that the place you're at now, right?
Yeah, that's where I live now.
Okay, yeah, that's why I couldn't remember. I know you told me the story, and I know that alone, honestly, is is my worst is one of my worst anxieties as well. Is it's never happened, but I can only imagine how, like, I had like one lady tell me, an older lady that was I would talk to, that was in my congregation. She said that what she did when she was scared or home alone, is she set up traps everywhere to where it would make noises to wake her up.
Yeah.
I was like, but yeah, I can only that that would definitely. So that is very understandable, and is that where that's where your PTSD comes from?
Yeah.
And is that the only? Is that like what? Is that your only one, or do you
Yeah.
think that it's caused by like dealing with your mom growing up? If I'm
No,
asking,
that
like,
would just be
okay,
more anxiety and
okay.
depression stuff, probably. Yeah.
I know that if I'm asking like two like questions that you don't want to answer, you could
Yeah.
just say no comment. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
interrogating though. Like, am I going to do this? Wait, yeah, I that's just is is that something? Because you did bring it up. I know. Is that something you would even want to talk about in the future? Like, tell your story about what happened? Or I know you did tell it to me, but I'm
Oh,
not
I
sure
don't.
how.
Yeah, I can tell it. It's a pretty quick story if you want me to tell it now.
Oh, I don't. If it's up to, if you don't
I mean, I can
mind, I
tell it
don't.
some other time. I mean, maybe we'll tell it some other time and I can talk about how it actually helped me identify triggers. So,
Yeah, there you go. Like, maybe
yeah.
that's what we can kind of
Yeah.
do too. But that's what I'm saying. I don't want. I want you to, because same with you, Carly. When you tell like your story, is I feel like I'm Dr. Phil right now, doing these questions and stuff. I don't know why. Um, like, we don't have to, like, if you're not comfortable with certain things, do not be afraid to not say
And
it.
that goes
Like,
for
talk.
everybody.
Yes,
Yeah.
everybody, even you in the chat. Do not be afraid to withhold information. Do not feel you have to put anything out there. You don't even have to engage in this topic. You can do whatever you want in the chat. Talk about as long as it's not drama, obviously. But you don't have to even tell any of your story or anything. We're just gonna tell ours since we're up here, and obviously, if you like, we're talking about, if you want to come up. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I was asking if you felt comfortable with telling that story, because since I it's still, I know it's 2015, but it probably feels like yesterday to you.
Yeah. Sometimes.
So that's why I'm
Um,
like, if it's something that you're not ready to.
Yeah, Sunday nights. It happened on a Sunday night. It happened around Christmas, like the Sunday before Christmas. Um,
Wow.
so those times
Oh,
it definitely feels like yesterday.
yeah. And I
Oh
know,
goodness.
and that's the thing too, is because we do talk a lot. So that's why I'm like trying to not ask questions, and like, so where I'm like putting stuff out there on you, because I don't want to just but that's why I was
I
asking, like, what are you
I
comfortable with?
literally don't care. Like there are things like I said, I gave you the Reader's Digest version, but like in my deepest depression back before I moved, I had
Mm-hmm.
like my job was a good paying job, in California. Um, I owned a home. I, like there was no excuse for some of the things that I let happen. Like I had money, but
Yeah, but
I
the
actually
thing is,
had a car repossessed. And I'm saying this because I literally have no skeletons in my closet. And why did I have my car repossessed? Not because I didn't have the money, because I just didn't pay the bills because
And
of the
that's the
depression.
and
Because
yeah,
of the
that's the
depression.
thing.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is you gotta realize that, because yeah, you had your own home, you had a good paying job, but obviously there was something that you were depressed, like, not saying, like, it doesn't seem you were really happy, even though you had that, if I'm making any sense.
Yeah. It's, you know, I mean, I deal with this in my job all day. You know, depression is not just feeling down, it's low
Yeah,
motivation. It's the official
exactly.
word is anhedonia, which is lack of interest in doing things. It's, you know, the crying spells, it's all the things. And so, like, now, you know, you set up your account to where you just pay the bill, do it for me. I don't have to write the check. But, you know,
Oh
back
man,
then,
back in those days, right? I remember my mom, like, when she like would write a check and stuff. It's like, oh, I'm like, man, I gotta learn how to do all that.
yeah.
I was like, oh, thank goodness for these credit cards, or like debit cards.
Yep.
That's all I do now, as I just pay it online.
Yep. It's all automated. So, you know, most of it, like
Yeah,
the big stuff is automated, but
I don't really have anything that pulls from my account, because they all have different kind of. It's usually around the same time a month, but
yeah.
because I get paid weekly, I figure out, okay, what am I gonna pay this, and then I'll pay this next week, because I always pay it early.
Yeah.
I always pay it before it's due, or
Yeah.
right on the day. Like, should I
But
actually look?
that's a good example. Why I just shared about the repossession is because I mentioned this in Cindy's chat a lot. The whole shame thing. It's like I'm not going to be ashamed of it, and you can't use it against me to shame me with it if I own it. And I say, yeah, that happened, and
Yeah, but it
so
was at a
what?
point, like, that's the thing though, is if people want to bring that, is that that's at a point where you're at a rough time in your life, as far as
Yeah,
your
but
depression. So
yeah, but
that's
people will try to bring up your past and use it against you. But I bring up my past and use it as a place of power because I can tell you where I was and where I am now. So they
yeah,
have no power when I take the power.
and that's a good way to look at it. And I think that's how a lot of people should look at it, especially when it comes to social media.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that too, Layla. Like, if you need time to really feel, to get your thoughts wrapped around it, to then answer, yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Did we lose Carly? Oh, she's just muted.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
I was like, it just got quiet. Like, it just felt really quiet, because I
Good.
know I was hearing yours. Oh my goodness.
I like a tickle in my throat. I kept coughing. Didn't think anybody would want to hear that.
Well, my gremlin is just running amok right now.
Just give him some Mountain Dew. He'll be all right.
Why would I do that?
Good question. You wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. Just saying. It's like
Yep.
I know what it took to get me where I am now. And I went through that. And it's a badge now for me, like a Girl Scout badge,
Yes.
and I'm sewing it on my vest. And so you can just sit and spin. Like, not going to use it to shame me. So
I just heard that recently. Sit and spin.
I saw somebody
Not who I-
talking about the actual sit and
Yeah.
Who
Hey,
is Carly? Carly has fallen asleep.
wow, putting me on blast.
I I can't laugh at you because I am notorious for falling asleep in voice chats, or not voice chats, in live stream.
Yeah, you.
I
It's
did
Yeah,
it
no,
last
that's
night,
why
as
I
a
was
matter of
like,
fact. Just last
I know,
night.
I knew.
I feel like they're telling me a bedtime story and it puts me right to sleep.
Oh wow, yeah, just saying, just calling you out, falling asleep in voice chats. Oh my goodness.
And it's happened more than once. That's the funny thing.
Does she? Okay, so just saying, I'm curious. Does she snore?
Wait,
Is that how you
don't
know?
ask quick. I'm muted.
Yeah,
No, I haven't. I mute myself. Like my husband, he says I snore and I don't. I will die on
I
that
use
hill
it. How would you know though?
because I don't. I sleep peacefully. I don't snore.
How do you know you're asleep?
Exactly.
That's besides the point. I just know you know things about yourself. And I know this. I do not snore. Nobody's shown proof. So there you go. And he's saying he's
Oh my
going
goodness.
to, and he hasn't. So I'm like, okay, you claim I do, but
When
you
I was
can't prove
when
it.
I was pregnant, I woke myself up snoring.
Oh my
Me
goodness.
snoring when I was
Did
pregnant.
you like fart and wake up?
Oh my
Yeah.
word.
Yeah, I would. And my husband actually, because he said I would snore, and I was like, no, I don't snore. He gave me proof.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he recorded it and showed it to me. I was like, oh my goodness.
Aw. I also
Uh,
tell him I don't fart. He doesn't believe that either. It's like, I definitely don't.
Use the app, Carly. Don't trust that guy.
But yeah, I've heard of that too. Like, no, you need legit proof. And until you have it, even if you did have proof, I'd still deny it. So there's that.
Like you put something under my pillow to make it sound like I was.
Yeah. You're like, that's just you. You recorded yourself. Trying to blame me.
My grandpa, my dad's dad, he is a really loud snorer, and so is my dad. Like I can hear him snoring sometimes when I'm talking on the phone with my mom and she's in the living room. I was like, oh my god. Like how do you sleep next to that?
Well, that's how there's some couples that can't even sleep in the same room because
No, that's what my grandma. Yeah, my grandma had her own room because she couldn't sleep with him snoring, and she has to sleep with like the fan on and like a window open.
That's
So, yeah.
Or
So
do,
she
like,
so
earplugs and
Carly and her. Yep.
I've moved on to peppermint.
Oh yeah. Okay. I will. So
I'm in
PM.
I'm
Oh
in my
PM.
peppermint.
Well, it's
Yolk.
just peppermint mocha, right? So PMM.
No,
Or
it doesn't have any fancy initials. Only PS.
No.
No. Because like
I
some
love
places call
the
it peppermint mocha, and other place like I don't know if you guys have Dutch Brothers, but they call
I do.
they call it candy cane cold brew.
Huh.
That doesn't no. I don't like candy cane.
You don't like candy cane?
No,
What?
I don't.
I
don't
thought you
like
were all
candy
about the
cane.
mint.
Different.
Yeah, mint Oreos.
The peppermint, like the peppermint with those, I cannot do. But I can do the peppermint latte or the peppermint mochas, but because there's chocolate in it. I know, but I cannot do the peppermint candy candy cane. I was like, what the heck? So I like the flavor, like the purple and blue ones.
That doesn't count. I don't know why they
Juju's got my back.
Yeah.
The peppermint,
The-
like, yeah, I can't do the ones with the white and red ones. I can't do those ones.
so the traditional, the legit ones.
No, actually, to be honest, the peppermint mocha at Starbucks is year round. You can get it year
Yeah.
round.
Yeah. But then at some places, it's like a secret menu thing. You just have to ask for it.
They just don't give you. They just don't give you the whatchamacallit, the crush, because I know they give you like the crushed chocolate mints on the top.
Yeah. I really like well, I don't drink it anymore, but Starbucks has it's salted caramel
Oh, it's my favorite.
frappuccino.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love the salted caramel chocolate milk. I used to get that with the pumpkin muffin. Oh, I love their pumpkin muffin.
Yeah. And I wanted
Pumpkin
it
cream muffin.
I wanted it when it was like springtime or something. And they're like, yeah, we can make it, but we don't have the sea salt or whatever to put on top.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mousy.
that's what it was. Yeah.
Like,
Wait,
Like, I don't know. That's fine.
as
Mousy.
long as the drink itself will still, I don't care if there's salt on top. It's not a big deal.
Uh-oh, what are you yelling
Oh,
at, Mousy
shit.
for?
Okay. I thought I read it wrong. I thought she said that the chestnut praline latte was kind of chic. And I'm like, excuse me, Dory, we need to have a talk.
It's so fancy.
Chic. But that's not what she said. My favorite is the salted caramel hot chocolate from Starbucks. That is the bomb.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not huge on hot chocolate. Like I have to
Me either.
I have to really be in the mood for it. But
Yeah.
that one's good.
Yeah. Well, y'all.
They have it at it's not salted, but it's just caramel hot chocolate at McDonald's. It's actually pretty good. It's a little too sweet though.
There it is. Cute.
Oh, Belinda. That's not nice. I mean, I would probably do the same thing, but
Yeah, we would definitely do that in our family.
yeah, I wouldn't want it done to me though. I can do it with everyone else, not me.
Well,
My goodness, this thing is like sucking my battery. Like I was at full battery when we started. I'm at like 38% now.
Oh, StreamYard?
Yeah, it sucks my battery.
Gotta get that on a charger. Ew. We're about going on 2 hours, a little less.
Well, I didn't know if anyone else had any questions for Grace or if she was done with her story.
oh, I'm sure parts of it will come up from time to time.
And that's completely fine.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna call it a night. But as usual, thank you guys for
Yes, thank you all for coming.
Yeah.
sharing
Yeah,
parts
thank
of your
you.
stories with us. And we
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
if you guys could do all the YouTube-y things,
Yes.
like
Please
share,
help us with the algorithm.
Yeah, and keep a lookout. I want to say what. Oh, I guess when we do our other stream, we'll let you guys know when the next one we're gonna do.
Yeah,
And for mental health.
we want to do this at least to start once a month, but
Yeah.
Depending on if people want to do it more frequently.
Yeah, we're kind of seeing how you guys like it, because obviously you guys, we want to make you guys have fun and help you guys in any way. Again, like everyone, like they both said, we're not professionals. So
Yeah.
anything that we talk about that we did for ourselves, do not do it for yourself unless you are told otherwise by a professional.
Yes.
And next week, are we doing some kind of game?
Yes, we're gonna do some kind of game. Probably
What are we
the
gonna do? Jackbox?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Like do a Jackbox games. Yes, and those are really fun. So
yeah,
yeah, so since next week, I think everyone's gonna be so busy with getting ready for their Thanksgiving or whatever they do with their family. But do it obviously on our usual day for just kind of have fun, especially
yeah.
after such a deep one
Deep.
today. We want to have some fun next week, and then if you don't ever be afraid to like suggest like anything if you guys want us to talk about something, or again, as long as it's not drama, because we're not going to talk about
Yeah.
drama
Mm.
unless it's celebrity drama, that's different. And oh, that's another thing is I don't know if I should say, we're talking about doing the rewards, weren't we?
Oh, that's
Awards.
we're doing that. Yeah.
Yes, and
So
it's
we're
go ahead,
um
you explain it.
okay. So you may have seen in the past some on Pickle May, they did some fashion reviews. Well, we're gonna do some fashion reviews a la Shenanigans style. So that'll be coming up here in the next probably after Thanksgiving at some point. We'll get that started. Gonna be a little bit different,
Yes,
but it'll be fun. Yeah.
it'll be different but fun.
Yes.
And I'm actually looking forward to that because
Yes.
that was what I did in the chat anyway. And
Yes.
so, because I'll be honest,
Don't give it away.
I'm not going to give it away. I won't give it away. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Again, like they said, hit the like if you haven't subscribed, and if you are wanting to subscribe, go ahead. Okay,
Is
so
that
look,
what it is,
Mousy.
Mousy? I couldn't figure it out, Mousy.
Yeah. So yeah, check out because we got several
you
people
drop-
in here.
Somebody drop Mousy's link.
Is she not a mod?
Can she do her own? Oh, I guess she can.
Yeah, you drop your link.
Yeah,
So
Juju.
we got Juju has a channel that is amazing as far as we do candy store gems and we do Oreos and
Yep.
other things. And she's now talking about doing decor, helping you with your decor. So if you need some help with your decor, I just like saying that word, sorry. Check out Juju. And then we got Mousy. So tomorrow you're talking about discussing holiday desserts. So that is something to do. Yeah. So drop your links, ladies. I know, and then we do have Nikki May, which she's not here, but she has a channel. She has two, Nikki May and Pickle May. And so yeah, we got a lot of people in this chat do have their own channels, so don't miss them because a lot of them are really good channels.
Yeah. Juju is Thursday.
Yes.
And Mousy is tomorrow.
Yeah, Mousy's tomorrow. Juju is Thursday.
And Friday usually.
Yeah, Thursday and Friday, which I'm gonna have to. I gotta get my review ready. I'm not writing anything down, so oh my goodness, my gremlin. I'm not writing anything down, so I'm just gonna say I'm gonna do it how you did it, though, Grace. Just not. Okay. Yeah, just gonna wing it how you did it, cause
okay.
I just have thoughts on this one, so I have a lot to say about it. So if you want to hear me talk about Oreos on Juju's channel on Thursday, was it 7? Is it 7? I think 7 my time. So was that?
Yeah, your time.
So 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, 8 Mountain, 9 Central. Ooh. Oh my goodness. And then if you're in another country, sorry, I can't help you there. I don't know any of that. Sorry.
Yeah, you.
All right.
Okay, so Juju's is tomorrow at 9:45 p.m. But is that where you are, Georgia? So is that East Coast?
She's East Coast time.
So that would be 6:45 Pacific,
Oh my goodness.
7:45 Mountain, and 8:45 Central. Okay, I'm done. You can end it now.
Okay.
You guys have a good night.
Good night,
We'll be
everyone.
here.
Good night. Thanks for coming. See you
Bye.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.